everybody. So we'll go ahead and we'll get started with the statement from Coach Barnes, and then we'll jump into some questions.
I thought today we beat a really good team, and this weekend we beat two really good teams. I think Oregon, really good at on balls, talented, dynamic guards. Oregon State kind of picks you apart on offense. Really smart players, difficult to guard. Had to switch a lot of different things to guard them, and I just think these are two solid wins at home. To get this sweep was really big for us for multiple reasons. So I'm happy, very happy.
Do you remember much about the first couple of years you played the Oregon schools and how tough they were?
Yes. I'm actually trying to forget those first couple of years, but they often come to my mind, especially when I watch that episode. Yeah, I remember like getting killed by all those teams. I remember they would just pick us apart, turn us over, open shots. Like I remember we couldn't compete the first couple of years at all. We were getting smashed by those teams, and we were losing to Stanford at the first couple of years. Tara was very nice to me. We would lose by like 30 points, but she could have beat us by 45. Like for sure, like she would put in subs really early. She just didn't want to smash us, but she definitely could have. So.
In the first half, kept losing the three-point shooters. What was different that you guys were?
Well, so not necessarily losing them, but just the way that we're so aggressive on the ball. Because there's two on the ball, we're going to be in rotation, but didn't rotate as sharp. If we're aggressive on the ball and we're not making the ball handle the retreat, then it's very hard to get to two passes out. And always typical in basketball, two passes out of a trap is always open shot anyways. So if we were more solid on the traps, it should be harder to get out. So that wasn't happening. So much better second half when we adjusted to that. Then we weren't in that situation as much. So I thought that was a good job by the players adjusting and doing what we asked them to do. Which I think made a difference. The areas that I think they really got us in was that we can be aggressive and we can trap, but we have to know a time when to pop back. And so, like when you're getting driven on a lot and people are turning a corner driving, you have to pop back and contain without fouling. I think that's an area we have to get better in because we were trying to go for, I said we were hack-a-shack at the, driving to the lane. If there's someone helping, you don't have to go and try to block a shot every time. I don't know why we're doing that. So we're rotating and help. So two people just like wall up, go make them shoot over two hands, not try to swing every time. So that's just a habit. I don't know why we're doing that, but I do like the way that we're getting better defensively overall because we had some good rotations that were really good where we rotated and we contested shots, and I was happy with when we did good. So.
Can you comment on Araya not being here?
Yeah, so just Araya was just having a really bad headache from earlier today. So for me, it's like to have her in a game with 8,000 screaming fans. She was here and everything, but I sent her home because there's no need. And when you have a migraine and you're sitting there, it doesn't help her in sitting there in the game. So I sent her home. So she'll be okay, but it wasn't worth it. And she hasn't had a migraine in like 10 years, so it was something where she thought she could kind of shake it, but the lights were making it worse. And so it's just better to sit her.
With Kate playing the full 40 minutes, was that just to have that presence in there with her?
Yeah, I thought I took her out once, but I didn't remember I didn't take her out at all. I thought I gave her a few minutes early, and I looked, I was like, wait, she played 40 minutes. She was doing some good things, and I think that one of the reasons why she played 40 minutes was because Lauren got in foul trouble. So then Lauren had to sit, and then we were going on a run, so it kept Kate at the 5 with Coy. So that kind of, and then Araya would have came in at the 5, so Kate needs to say thank you to Araya because her not playing enabled her to play 40 minutes. But Araya would have been that next 5 because Lauren was in foul trouble. But yeah, and I didn't want to play Lauren way down the stretch when she sat for a long time. I didn't think that was good, and I thought Coy played really well.
How have you seen Sam grow as a player this season since she reached that milestone today?
She just gets better. She's always been so great off the court. She always does the little things. She always talks. She's always a leader. But what I love is that, like, you look at the stat sheet, there's 10 shots. She seems really aggressive, but this is what she should do every game. So when she's not, I'm like, you need to stay aggressive. So this is the expectation for Sam. She's improved her game. She's a great shooter. Right now, before this game, she was 48% from the 3. So I told the team we need to get her shots. So when your teammate's 48%, you need to get them shots. So I probably jinxed her talking about how good she was a 3-point shooter before the game because today she was 1 for 4. But I like the way she's attacking. I love the things that she's doing. So I want her to take 10 to 13 shots a game, and she needs to.
So with Lauren in fall trouble, Kate and Coy really stepped up as your posts, and they led this team.
Yeah, they did, and that's the only reason. And I thought Lauren had played more minutes, but I think as a foul trouble, then Coy came in and was having a really good game. That just was kind of how we rolled with. I thought Coy the last 2 games this whole weekend, she came out of her shell a little bit, and she really brought us great energy, offensively, defensively on Sabali, denying. I thought defensively she was on Mack and Corusdale today, and I thought she did a good job. Got some big boards, got some big steals. And we're still working on she kind of went for a steal one time, and I'm like, that's not the time to go for a steal. But learning that, I'd rather taper that back than have to tell you, go ahead and get up and press. So she's aggressive, she's really instinctual, but I think she's coming into her own, so I'm happy. Really good job for Coy.
Oregon State's coach thinks your group of guards is one of the best and most experienced in the country. What are your thoughts on hearing something like that, since you've played against him and you've known what he's had in that area?
Yeah, he always has really good guards. Like Talia, she's a freshman. I was like, I have to see her for 4 more years. Gosh, that's a nightmare because she's only getting better and better. No, that's a big compliment. I think, Bendu and Shayna and just Sam, Helena, I think what makes them special is their will to win, because they've had a taste of some really high-level success. And we didn't win a championship, but to get there with this group and pretty much the same team except for Aerie and Trinity. But they have that experience, so they know what it's like. So I feel like in games where it's tight, it's nothing like the pressure it was at the Final Four, and they just have this mentality about them to find a way to win. And I think that shows, and it's different people. So against Louisville, it was Bendu. And then tonight, Bendu played really good defense on Talia when she was guarding her. I think they just make plays. Sam came up with these big rebounds and steals. Those are big plays that you just have the confidence to go make. But I don't know if you have that confidence if you didn't have all that experience. So I think that really helps. And for us, I'm excited because we're going to have pretty much the same team back. So I think that's even more exciting. And then we have some great young kids that are going to learn from them. So I'm really excited. When you think about our personnel, it's not like Bendu and Shayna. A lot of times teams are playing off of them because they're so athletic and they drive. So then we're still able to find ways to score, and we're getting a lot of stuff off defense. So that's why I choose to start with them. And they bring a lot of experience, and they bring a lot of grit and toughness. So thank you.
Greg?
How do you put some context into committing 3 turnovers?
I don't know, because it's never happened. I thought it was a typo at first. I was like, wait, I didn't know. I was like, 3, let me look. I don't think I've ever coached a game and we had 3 turnovers. That's crazy. Who had them? Kate had 1, Bendu had 1, and Coy had 1. So 2 of the posts had 1, they had 2 of the 3. That's incredible with as much as we handle the ball. But Oregon State doesn't try to turn you over, but still, usually on baseline out of bounds, usually still have a couple, or a travel. So it also tells me our fundamentals are getting better, because before Oregon, the previous 7 games, we were getting 4 travels a game. So now we didn't have a travel, so it tells me the basic stuff that they're all annoyed that they have to do. I'm talking front pivot, different drives, same foot or cross your feet, whatever. Reverse pivot, all those fundamental things that they're that I make them do. It's working because they're not traveling. So I think those things, and that's good evidence to show, because or no charges. So it also tells me, because every other game that we get 3 turnovers a game, running and jumping through the lane. So we emphasize we're making them do all these drills where they have to jump stop. And so it tells me also we're not charging. So we're under more control. And so those are positive things on our road to get better. So 3 turnovers is awesome. And I hope this is the only game in my career where I'm coaching a team with 3 turnovers. Because we play fast, so to have 3 turnovers with our tempo, and then we had 20 more shots, pretty much 23 more shots, or 20 more shots than Oregon State. That's even more impressive to me.
With the Arizona State games coming up, from a coach's mentality, do what do you think about playing a team back-to-back like that?
It's hard. I think it's hard playing your rival, and Arizona State's a really good team, and they're really physical, and it's going to be a fight. They have some great players, so it's going to be a hard game. They have 2 transfers that are really good. They're coached well, and they're tough and gritty, and they do a lot of things that we do, so it's going to be similar. It'll probably be a very low-scoring game, so I don't know if it'll be fun to watch. But it's not going to be easy. But when I look at the Pac-12, nothing's easy. This was a hard weekend. At Oregon, at the Oregon schools, it was really hard. Then we had UCLA, Stanford. Like, these are all really hard games. There isn't one game. Like, there isn't one game on the road where I'm like, oh, we should win this game. It's like, no, if you don't play well, you're going to lose. So we still have to go to Washington. Washington State's a really hard place to play. Washington's a really hard place to play. So nothing's easy. But always your rival, it means so much more. Everybody's pumped. Like last year, to beat them here by like almost 30, then to go get our butts kicked there, that's kind of what it's like. So I'm excited to see how we respond and how we step up to play.
So, Friday you handed out those shirts, Protect Our House.
Yeah.
And that's what you've done. You've had 15 straight wins at
14,
home.
right?
15. There's 14 going in today.
Okay.
And obviously each Pac-12 weekend you've won. How is it going to help you now when you go out on the road?
Well, it helps us because we've, so in the non-conference, we won some really big games on the road. So, like, we were on the road a lot. I think that, our bad loss without 2 starters, but the loss that I think is the worst of the season is definitely USC. At Stanford, it's a tough place to play. Like, that's not an easy game. Then at Oregon's a very tough place. So those are games I think you can split. But the USC one, that's a bad loss. But I think for us, to win these home games, to go to Washington with confidence, winning the ASU weekend's important. So we are successful at ASU weekend. I think it makes everything easier because we have more momentum. But I think everything on the road is hard, so you want to take care and protect your house because you got to win home games. You have to. And who knows, if games get canceled, we still have the Washington game to make up here at home, which I want to make up because of our fans. And we were on the road so much in the non-conference, and that's a game we want. So definitely have to try to win games. I think we have 8 games left or 7. 8. So 8 games left, and you want to get momentum and get better and improve, and so we have to win the games we're supposed to, and then at least we need to try to win. And at home, it's easier to win, so you need to try to win at home. So the crowd, I'm hoping ASU, I want to sell out. I hope we can. We're going to try to get a sellout for ASU. I think it's very possible, but we need to win, and that's going to be a battle the whole weekend. So I'm excited for it.
Along those lines, you guys are really close to Oregon in the Pac-10 or Pac-12, average attendance. How important is that to you for you guys to get that?
It's important. I think it's important for a lot of reasons. I think we're behind by 100. I don't know if tonight made a difference.
50, we probably didn't go up too much. We were right around our season.
So let's say 130, 150. So I think we're capable, but they've had more home games. So I think we're capable of leading, but I think that's a huge thing. To be in one of the best conferences in the country and lead in attendance, that's a huge recruiting tool. I think, players want to come and play in these type of atmospheres, and there's only a few in the country. So I think it would say a lot. Also, Oregon's protocol is a lot more strict as far as vaccination cards and stuff. We don't have that. So, and our fans wear their masks. So I think it's a safe environment. I think it's a great environment. So I definitely want to lead the Pac-12 in attendance. Okay, thanks, guys.
For coming out. I remember them all. There was a lot from tonight. Sam Thomas, congratulations, moves into top 10 on Arizona's all-time scoring list.
Thank you.
Kate Reese moved into 8th on the all-time scoring list. And our 3 turnovers tonight tied a program record as with fewest turnovers. The last time we did it was also against Oregon State on March 3rd, 2019. So we love playing the Beavers, I guess. With that being said, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into some questions for the student athletes. We'll start with Kim and then PJ.
Clay, this weekend, big weekend for you. What's different?
Honestly, just part that is a part of everything that we do. Just being whatever my team needs me to be on the court, off the court. I want to win, I want to play. So whatever I had to do to get on the court, I was going to do it.
TJ?
Yeah, so every time you guys you came out aggressive. Every time you made a run, they seemed to answer, and then you pull away in the fourth quarter. What was it like being on the court for you guys with this sort of back and forth, and every time you're sort of getting some breathing room, you're not?
Yeah, I think that's just how Oregon State has been. They're coached very well. They always make adjustments. I remember one time in a timeout, we said we're switching everything, and then Scott saw we were switching, called a timeout, and changed the whole offense. So, I mean, they just adjust to everything that you do. So I think that's why, it's hard to go on runs against them. But I think in the end, the fourth quarter, we kind of picked it up. We're a little bit more physical and kind of ran in transition and played to our strengths.
Javier?
Hey, Sam, you played with Kate Reese for many years now. Just talk about it. She played full 40 minutes for the first time. Just talk about what she was like out there, how she held up.
Yeah, I think Kate did a great job today. She's obviously a great presence inside for us. And then more importantly, I think her defense was amazing today on Kennedy Brown. And then Mitrovic, she kept pushing them. She was physical with them. She was battling in the paint, boxing out for us. And then luckily we were able to reward her sometimes, getting those inside touches, kick out for three. So she did really well for us today. So very happy to see the progress over the past 4 years.
Greg?
Corey, when you transferred, did you think it was at all realistic that you could average 20 again?
Absolutely. I think I'm the best player. I think I'm one of the best players in college basketball, women's college basketball. I stay in the gym. I grow my game every day, expand my game. I work hard. So I don't think anything is impossible for me.
How would you describe blending into this team stuff?
I said me.
How would you describe blending into the team first, not scoring 20 a game?
Like in the beginning, you were testing the waters and then you came out and you're scoring 20 points a game now.
I'm dead. I just adjusting. Same answer. Keep doing, just working hard, doing whatever my team needs me to do. Taking my matchups personal. Last time number 5 came out, she had 19 and 11. 19 and 11. I didn't get a chance to play that game, but I knew that this game I would be guarding her. So we kept her. She had 19. 7 but
In 40 minutes.
in 40 minutes, so yeah.
Kim and then Javier?
The offensive board, you talked about boxing out, hasn't always been, one of your big things, but you guys got a lot of offensive boards tonight and turned them into points. What was different about tonight that you were able to, or today that you were able to do that?
I think we were just crashing a little bit harder than normal. I think we were trying to pick up the energy. It's a Sunday game. We were up early this morning, so we tried to really emphasize energy and just crashing really hard. I think Coy does a great job of crashing on the offensive board. We usually don't value offensive boards. We usually send 3 back to protect transition, but when you have a great crasher like Coy, if you only send 2, you're bound to get an offensive board. So glad she's crashing as hard as she is.
Javier?
Sam, with Araya out, how did you guys, come into this game? What was Adia's mindset going in with her out of the game?
Yeah, it was the same coming in with or without Araya. I think we have a game plan, and Araya's out. She's a great person for us to have. It would have been nice to have her physical presence inside, but it's just the next person that steps up. I think Coy did a great job coming in, playing more minutes, and we needed her with Araya out. So I think, obviously we missed Araya, but I think we did a good job of preparing and working around the arrangements.
Yeah, it seemed like she played mostly wings and guards against their taller lineup. Was that for athleticism, for speed against them? What was the thought there?
Yeah, we were just trying to switch it up a little bit. We were getting a lot of fouls. We were trying to, not get those straight line drives to the basket for them. So we were just trying to switch it up a little bit, see what Scott was going to throw out differently. So just trying to play around with it. And of course, we want to see who works well together, who doesn't. We're still, we have a good, solid, 10 people that, know how to play with each other well. So I think we're just taking advantage of when we can use those different matchups.
Sam, do you recall how formidable Oregon and Oregon State were when you first got here?
How what?
How formidable they were?
Yes. Yeah, Oregon and the Oregon States was not a fun trip for me. My freshman year, they're always it's always hard on the road to win, first of all. And then, of course, when you come here, I feel like they play extra hard because they know we have home court advantage. So just now to know this progress that we have as a team, seeing that we've grown, the players we've gotten, I'm really proud that we were able to get the sweep here against the Oregons.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Cool. Thank you.